Goes looking for Jackson. It falls short, but WINMAR is there. I think Jackson was the target. He was about 10 metres behind WINMAR. And he's got this ball just outside 50. Nicky WINMAR has been busy. Another of the expatriates. That's a long kick. That is a beautiful kick.
Oh, I'm 16 years old. I get $15 a week allowance. That's 6 hamburgers. My life is worth 6 hamburgers a week.
Money problems can happen at any age. That's why the state banking system is now available to teenagers with everything you need to help you control your money.
How much you getting out?
40 bucks.
That's a lot of your money. How much you get a week?
$15. Buy a hamburger.
State banking system. We never forget. It's your money.
In the middle, Waitman, supreme courage again despite the scoreboard. It spills to Lamb though. Towards half forward goes the kick. Ablett backs himself to come and meet the ball. Well played. He tracks it out towards the boundary line and proceeds to put it straight over.
I thought he was out when he kicked it. Well, I think his pace got him into the trouble there because the ball would have ran out of bounds had Ablett not have had so much pace and been able to grab it. But there he goes. He was just about over the line, Peter.
Gary Buckenara with the ball. Kick from about 55 metres. Looking kick too. They'll contest about 5 metres out. WINMAR. Battle after it. Pike upended. Jackson gets the hand pass away. Wilson snaps. Pulled it back too far. No, he snuck it in. Great effort.
Great goal, Peter Wilson. And you can't question his endeavour. Had much the better of Gary Ablett in the first quarter when Ablett was taken from the ground. And a very enthusiastic player, Peter Wilson, whether on the back line or on the forward line. A good struggle for the ball there. Jackson with the hand pass and Wilson an excellent snap goal.
Peter Wilson's first for the match, so 2 quick goals by the West Australians have added a little bit of respectability to their score. Long way behind still. 9-11 to 17-11 at the WACA. State of Origin 89. Oof. Through the legs of Dennis. And it's going to be a bounce. Last man to get up down there was Lovett. Knocked down by Starcevic. Scooped out to Brown, Collingwood teammate, to Lambert. Tackled well by Kickett. And dropped the ball. Brian Sheehan will bounce it. Still in the centre square. He could have been pinned by holding the ball there, Lambert. A little bit lucky. Down by Harding. And it comes towards the centre wing position. 2-on-1 in favour of Victoria. Brown does the tidying up work. Main Waring getting underneath it though for Western Australia. Gets a play on call from the umpire. Has to get around Collins, and the kick not as good as it could have been. Lambert's hand pass is hurried. Spalding back to centre wing and Wilson. And messing around WA, and Collins does well for Victoria, but the umpire has found a free kick. And it goes to Spalding. High to half full forward. WINMAR got a mile in the air. McGuinness back to Williams. Williams had a great third quarter. Waitman. McGuinness. Back it comes to WINMAR again. In pursuit, Stoneham, he nearly caught him too. A badly directed kick. The easiest of uncontested marks is taken by Gary Ablett. Back and turn to Armstrong. Knocked away by Wilson, still showing great desperation. And many others could take a leaf out of his book. Warmly applauded that effort by the crowd, Bernie.
Yeah, great performance, Peter Wilson. A lot of determination to get to that ball.
The boundary throw in. Right on 50. Lamb tries to get it out to a teammate. Brian Sheehan has decided on a bounce.
Left half forward for Western Australia. 17-11 to 9-11. Decisive victory for Victoria as Starcevic wins it down. He turns 22 today, but he hasn't been able to celebrate in style. Hasn't seen much of the action, although he's got the footy now. He goes long down towards full forward. Up goes Ayres, fisting away. Buckenara an opportunity, pulls it back. Ayres camped underneath it. Over the top, a valiant attempt to mark down there by Pike, but Ayres juggles it and the mark is paid.
Don't know about that.
It seemed Pike initially touched the ball, but for juggling alone, Ayres deserved a reward. This is Lyon in the pocket. Gary Lyon, members side with a kick. Harding coming over the top. Up he goes, fisting away. Wide of the pack. Matera went in, but Robert controlled it. Langford hardly put a foot wrong. Goes out wide and Brown's away. Started the game superbly, Gavin Brown. High kick. Backing back down there, Danaher. In from the side, it's knocked away by Sumich. Down went Bairstow. Now it's kick it over the ball. Tries to soccer it off the ground. Doesn't gain much meterage there. Bairstow similarly tries to soccer it. Twice then. Moved it about 15 metres. Steins, good to see him back on the ground. He seems to be perfectly fit. He pulls it back, and Collins has taken a mark directly in front, only about 40 metres out from goal. Collins a long way down the ground.
So what's he doing up there?
About to kick a goal, I think. Yes, he puts it through.
The Earth is on the brink of destruction. To save it, they must travel back where 23rd century man has never gone before, to a crazy, outrageous time. The 1980s.
It's a miracle these people ever got out of the 20th century.
Many of their customs will doubtless take us by surprise.
You're from outer space.
No, I'm from Iowa. I only work in outer space.
We have an intruder.
Our own world is waiting for us to save it.
I'm coming with you.
You can't. Our next stop is the 23rd century.
Toblerone presents Star Trek IV: The Voyage Home. Premiere Sunday on 7.
Harding knocks it down, picked up by Dale Waitman. He's missed a few crumbs at midfield. Lambert, wide looping hand pass. Brown goes long. There's Dunstall down there, knocked down by Rance. There he is on the bottom of the pack. Kick it, gets it to Brennan. Short pass to Waterman. Onto the run of Peter Wilson, who had a brilliant first quarter and is having a brilliant last quarter. Knocked away by Ayres. And once again, Cameron coming in for a torrid time over there. It struck a tripod. So boundary throw in front of the West Australian bench. 65 to 119 the score. Knocked down by Starcevic. Lamb, the recipient. Ablett in front. Couldn't take the mark. Lyon tries to get it back to him with a little short kick. Unsuccessful. Loose ball, half forward. The Victorians again through. Once again, Collins. Collins has gone for a short pass, and that's successful. The mark is taken by Steins in front of his Melbourne teammate. Earl Spalding stands the mark. Jimmy Steins spent a quarter and a bit on the bench, maybe even 2 quarters. Really a night for big guys, but Terry Danaher out to disprove that. That's a mark, surely. Lion-hearted effort from the veteran bomber. 9 kicks and 8 marks. Dunstall has screamed. Absolute screamer. 2 grabs. And a fine lead, and going for goal number 9.
Yeah, great performance, Dunstall. Very classy player. 132 goals last year, to be leading goal kicker in the VFL. And a good pass from Terry Danaher, giving Dunstall a chance to leap for that one.
Well, interesting decision for the Simpson medal, isn't it? A lot of players in contention. Williams, Dunstall. Dunstall's missed with that one. It cost him the medal.
Now, I think had he kicked straight, he would have been a certainty for the medal, because he's kicked, what's that, 8 goals, 5. So 13 shots at goal from a full forward on a night like this. It's been a tremendous performance.
Sumich to kick in. 65 to 120 the scoreline. Rance, 2 hands to it, almost holds the mark. Tries to get a hand pass out, maybe pushed in the back by Buse. Ball in the meantime comes up towards midfield or centre wing. Bairstow leading in the race forward. His Geelong teammate Scott applies the pressure, and it's out of bounds. So a boundary throw in front of the Lily Marsh stand on the outer side, which is still not full, but certainly 3 parts that way. Starcevic loses that one out. Picked up by Pike. Starcevic this time takes the mark. As I would have thought he took the mark. Umpire says no. Ayres boots it back whence it came. Barry Stoneham. Stoneham goes for distance with his kick up towards half forward, trying to find Danaher.
Twisted away though by Sumich. Stoneham a willing worker, but Waterman's got the run of the ball. Lambert goes to ground. Pike working hard, tackles Scott. The ball jarred free, and the umpire, I think, will move across to ball it up. Richard Dennis goes off the ground. Miles is on. Haven't seen a lot of Greg Williams in this term compared to what he did in the 3rd quarter, but that, of course, was when Victoria were busy winning the game. He's just cruising along at the present time. A wonderful performance in the middle. He's beaten some classy opposition tonight as Pike slides out of bounds with the ball, being harassed by Steins. Scott Waters.
You'll remember the night, won't he?
Yes, a few stitches required there, I'd suggest, as we've got this boundary throw in. So it's a question now of the VIC saying bring on South Australia. That's set for July 1 at the MCG as Pike hand passes forward to be taken by Bairstow, who's tried very hard for Western Australia. In towards centre half forward. Langford, who's played a fine game, was in front. Couldn't control at that time. It comes to Lyon. Lyon simply gives it away. Peter Matera, can he kick a goal, the youngster from the WAFL? No, he can't. He misses to the left-hand side. Well, I suppose Tony Lockett could have put himself out of contention now, given Dunstall's performance tonight. If we look forward, I know it's a long way away, but suddenly Dunstall is the incumbent with a great effort here. Main Waring. He's played a fine game too. I mentioned that list of expatriates who have played so well for WA, but this man has been the best of the Eagles by a long way, and in the best 3 or 4. There goes the kick down towards the pocket. It's missed down there by Buckenara. Langford, content really, I think, to be bundled across the line with the ball.
I suppose there are other contentions, Dennis, regarding the full forward post. Attendance at training, fitness, etc. And of course, as you mentioned, form. Buckenara gets a very solid hip and shoulder. And that was from Gary Ablett. Both players get up, and none the worse for wear. Steins loses out to Starcevic. Buse, Williams, those lightning hand passes. This time Scott's the recipient. Boots it up to midfield. 2 grabs. Terry Danaher comes down with it. He's having a fine last quarter. Had a pretty good match, actually. And Dunstall on a lead again. Sumic tried to kick it away. Kick Dunstall in the hand. Kick it. Leading Lambert and Dunstall. Dunstall's up at centre wing. Lambert pokes it further forward again. Sumic tackled by Armstrong. High, says the umpire. And Sumic will take the free kick. Second opponent for Jason Dunstall tonight. Wobbly punt kick up to half forward. Ball hits the deck right in front of the West Australian bench. And Gary Ayres, the last to get up there, was a little bit proppy. Finally gets to his feet. Steins knocks it down. Knock on by Langford. Back to Schwass. Back to Williams. Williams' kick doesn't travel much distance. Stoneham in front. Plenty of support down there from Victorian teammates through the agency of Armstrong. Armstrong long up towards full forward. Dunstall being held by Sumic. But the ball eludes both of those. It's out of bounds. Right forward pocket for Victoria. It doesn't look as though he's going to get the 10 goals. He's kicked 8 goals, what, Bernie?
8 goals 5, Peter.
8 goals 5. So 13 shots at goal. As they converted pretty well. Collins, his Hawthorn teammate, has a snapshot. That won't be there either. And Sumic takes the mark in front of Dunstall. He's gone for a short pass, and he's found Derek Kickett at half.
Kick it on the outer side. Decides to run with the ball as he comes up towards centre half back. Not a particularly good kick. Good contest from Lamb behind to knock it away from Buse. Driving the pack is Miles. Kicks it out wide. Starcevic takes the mark. It's the Bronx cheer, but he hasn't been on the ground too much tonight. Starcevic goes down towards full forward, and a strong mark is taken by Ablett. He's played a very good game, Ablett, as has this man, Williams, and again he always does. Schwass, a real up-and-comer, sweeping hand pass to Waitman. Waitman on centre wing. He set the standard for courage. He goes into towards centre half forward. That's a poor kick, though, and Rance takes the mark. Run down from behind by Stoneham. A lack of talking. Everything's fallen away in this WA effort now. Stoneham left the ball behind. Opportunity for Main Waring. He'll do something constructive. Away he comes. Runs up to centre half back. Uses the ball brilliantly and finds a teammate there in Lamb. Lamb wants to go. Untidy hand pass. Sold Starcevic into trouble, but he gives it back to Lamb. Lamb spears the ball out wide with the markers taken by Waterman. There's a man on for his left foot down towards the pocket, and he goes to that player, Jackson. Jackson lines up goal. Shocking kick. Slides it across the face. Ayres is down there. Almost the strong mark. And Ablett just pushes the ball across the boundary line.
Pretty tight players out there. I guess one of them is Robert Scott. Trudging along the boundary line. 9-12 to 18-12 in Victoria's favour. Steins wins that one down. There's Ablett again. Gets slung as he kicked. And the end result not particularly good. Gary Lyon more effective off the ground. Lambert beautifully read. A Tiger ruck rover out towards left centre wing. Armstrong got underneath the ball. Sets it up perhaps for Schwass, but he couldn't handle it. The ball beats Brennan over the boundary line for a throw-in, just on Victoria's attacking side of centre. Harding and Stoneham. Stoneham looking for the front position, almost shepherding his opponent out of the way. It's out of bounds again. I don't know whether either side made any headway there. Wayne Schwass the last to get up. So certainly the Victoria-South Australia clash becoming very promotable at the MCG in July. Steins get the bounce that he really wanted, but does succeed in getting it to Buse in turn to Armstrong. Through some heavy traffic at midfield. Into Roder's main bearing at half-back. Probably WA's best player tonight, Murray Rance. Eagles captain to left centre wing, Earl Spalding. Short pass, not a good one, went past Langford. Picked up by Starcevic. Starcevic to Buckenara. Is that a mark or a bump ball? The umpire said the latter. I thought it was a mark. Armstrong applies the tackle, but it will be a bounce inside 50. Left half forward flank for Western Australia.
Yeah, let's have a look at that one. Really, that was a line ball, wasn't it?
It certainly was.
Good decision.
You're a WA man. Or we thought. Throw in. Steins. It's a wrestle. And Starcevic. Jackson. Boot the ball quickly. Up to the goal square. Oh, WINMAR. Courageous mark. To take it in front of McGuinness. It was going to be touch and go whether he would get around his bulkier opponent. But great use of the body, Bernie.
Yes, he's been far too good tonight for McGuinness.
16 kicks. This is number 17 for a goal. And he's got it.
Not everyone can play in the big league, but everyone can dream. And everyone can show their pride in their favourite footy team. Kmart's got tops, $24.97. Pants, $19.98. Footy gear for every age. Dad's jumpers, $54.98. You can look just like a champion for whatever team you want. It's the True Blue All-Australian game, and the season's truly on. Yes, the season's on at Kmart. Kmart.
Wake up, champ. We got a game to go to.
So WA dying hard in this game, plugging away, but Victoria just too gifted. We mentioned 12 Eagles in the team, and that's been reflected, I think, in what we've seen out there tonight. The ball's still in the centre square. This is Collins. Well played, Mainwaring, surrounded by Victorians. Bairstow is off the ground. He's gone immediately down into the change rooms. It's to be hoped he's okay as Lamb gives it to Waters into the forward line yet again. Over the top, McGuinness fisting away. Lovett gets the hand pass to Schwass. Schwass goes out wide with a kick. It skids towards the boundary line and runs out of play. So the clock running down on this game. Chris Lewis. Victoria jumped Western Australia at the start and really haven't looked back. Schwass once more on the boundary. Hooks it around. This is Brennan. Brennan forward at centre wing. A high kick. And a great mark is taken by Ablett. He's played a very good game tonight, Harry Ablett. Comes across the ground. Steins. McGuinness. Scott's got it now. The defensive side of centre wing. Scott uses the ball superbly. Centimetre perfect. Right to Collins, just inside the boundary line. Running on is Scott. Collins goes, though, towards Danaher. Clears he and also Spalding waiting behind Wilson. Wilson gets the hand pass away to Lamb. Lamb comes back towards centre wing. Steins was up, couldn't mark. There's that man again, Ablett. Gets it away. Taken by Buse, who boots it down towards half forward. Valiant attempt to mark down there by it was Spalding, who finished up lying on the ground. Got it to kick it, and kick it, shovels it out to Harding, who in turn gets it to Lamb.
Lamb's kick up towards left half forward flank. And it will be a free kick going Victoria's way to be taken by Chris Langford, who's being held when not in possession. Langford short of right centre wing. Spiral punt kick. Haven't seen too many of those booted tonight. Stoneham was the high flyer. Spalding's knocked it out, and the recipient of that knock on was Brennan. It bounces for Lovett, leading Starcevic in the race with the ball. Decides the boundary line is the better option. and it will be a boundary throw-in. Let's go to Bruce Monteith.
Yes, they've just taken Bairstow straight off the ground. The doctor looked very concerned. It looks like it's a dislocated shoulder at this stage. They're not saying anything, but they didn't even bother to take him to the interchange bench.
I think Malcolm Blight has had his supper spoilt by that news. Let's hope that it's not that. It'll be a boundary throw-in in front of the West Australian bench. As the clock ticks down on this quarter and in this match, Steins gets it down to Buse. And Schwass takes the hand pass from Larkin towards centre wing, and there's Dale Waitman again. Short pass, Dunstall on a lead, marked 40 metres out. Can he get goal number 9? As Bernie told us, he's kicked 8 goals, 5. Had a brilliant third quarter, which really stitched the match up for Victoria. Dunstall for goal number 9. The closing stages of the final term. It's going pretty close. It's not a bad kick. It's a goal. And 9 goals to the Victorian full forward. 72 to 126.
We've got the siren too, Pete. It's the quietest siren in the VFL.
I didn't hear it. 19-12. The final score to 10-12. So Dunstall's kicked right on the siren. And in the overall wash-up, Bernie, a pretty easy win to the Vics, but set up by that brilliant third quarter when they kicked 6-5 to 2-2.
Yes, Peter, it was. It ended up being a very easy victory to Victoria. The last quarter, the Western Australia couldn't raise a challenge, and Victoria got a lot of easy goals, but they did put on a lot of pressure in that second and third quarter, Western Australia. Their tackling was good, their desperation was good, but they just didn't have the options up forward. The players who could kick goals, and with Dunstall, of course, kicking 9 goals, he was the outstanding forward on the ground.
Bad news for the Cats, of course. Mark Bairstow, hopefully more news on that shortly, but that's the situation then at the WACA. Victoria convincing winners 19-12 to 10-12. We'll be back with all the news right after this.